Speaking of Colby, what have you seen from him, and what has stood out so far to you in fall camp?
Well, there's a couple things. One, I think I mentioned this about Colby Richardson. He physically, he came in and put on about 20 pounds, and I think that really has allowed him to compete at a high level. He was, somewhere in the 170 range, 168, 172, and he's over 190 pounds. So I think, coming in and really taking advantage of the nutrition and the weight training and conditioning, put him, he's obviously a very gifted athlete, but then putting on that strength and taking, our nutrition program to a new level for him, one that he, probably never had before. And he's got elite speed. He's a veteran player, and all those things have come together. He's extremely committed. The players really enjoy him. He's a really good teammate, and it's good to see him have some great success.
Yeah, how much more sample size do you need to see out of the quarterbacks to kind of like, okay, this is who I'm starting? I mean, is it almost there, or is it?
Yeah, no, I think we're pretty much we're closing in on making a decision. The two of them are outstanding quarterbacks. You guys probably, if you were voting as a group in here, it might be, a split in this room. It's pretty close. So I think you could probably understand why, for us, we're not jumping out there giving you a quarterback, because they're both fine quarterbacks, and it's that close. But we're gonna have to make a decision here in the next few days.
Hey, Coach, here in the back, Malik Neighbors and the
Yeah.
matchup problems he can give defenses, and just seeing him in practice, it seems
Yeah.
like he's going to have a great year. What are you seeing out of him?
I think the first thing is, for me, from the spring to the summer workouts and to now, he's obviously stronger physically, and his maturity is the thing that stands out. And when I say maturity, I mean he's the same guy every day. He comes to practice prepared. He practices hard. He comes with the right attitude. He thinks the right way, and that's maturity, right? And I thought at times in the spring he was a bit up and down. He'd have a good day and maybe not so much you'd see him. But his consistency and his approach and the way he thinks and the way he's attacked practices, he's going to be, I think, a guy that we're all going to enjoy watching play.
At that wide receiver position, now that Jack Besh and Chris Hilton seem like they're maybe fully back from their injuries, kind of how does that shape what you have in the room and how the rotation is going to end up looking?
Well, you're going to see them all play. We want to play fast. We want to play with some tempo. We're going to push the ball down the field, so those guys are going to have to, stay fresh. We want to be able to attack defenses with, 6, 7, deep at that position is going to serve us well. So, I think they all serve an important role. Kyron Lacey's going to be involved in that as well. He's had a couple of really good scrimmages for us. Dre Jenkins has been really solid for us and consistent. So, I think all of those guys are going to play a significant role. And I think it's, to have that kind of depth, we're going to use it as a strength of ours by really, keeping those guys fresh and rotating them into the game.
Hey, Coach Kelly, right here in the middle. With such a close battle at the quarterback position, is there a chance we would see both guys against Florida State, or you're just going to ride with QB1 and that's it?
I don't know that I have an answer for that question, as much as I think we need to make the decision, start who it is that we feel gives us the best chance to win, but know that both of them are quarterbacks that can help us, win the SEC. So, however that plays out, it's really hard for me to answer that question, looking forward. But I think in the moment, we feel really good about both of those quarterbacks. I'm trying to be evasive, but it's just a fact.
Ryan, obviously, when you think of defense, the days of having a lot of 3 and outs in the game are long gone. What do you value from your defense? Is it, disruptive plays,
Yeah.
sacks and turnovers? How much does that count for you?
Yeah.
With what defenses are, and how is this defense able to do that?
Well, there's 3 things. One, you definitely want to get offenses in a position where they're against the chains. In other words, they're off schedule. That's important. When you get offenses, in 2nd and 15 or 2nd and long, you get them off schedule. That's important. So those are tackles for loss, and we believe that we can do that with the disruptive front that we have. The second thing is taking the football away, whether that be through, pressures on the quarterback, interceptions, strips. Those are things that we work on every day. And then the third down defense, the ability to get off the field on 3rd down. So, to me, when you look at the nature of your defense, those 3 things between the 20s are how you really evaluate a successful defense. Getting offenses off schedule, taking the football away, and being really good on 3rd down, getting off the field. We obviously have to be great in the red zone and forcing field goals over touchdowns, but that's another, that's a whole other, defensive structure for us because you get into different fronts and coverages and such. But that would be my answer.
Coach, I hate to beat the quarterback horse to death, but with these 2 guys, and I know you said that you've wanted to make a decision within the next couple of days, do you want to give them a full week of preparation, the starter, or do you see this bleeding into next week, the competition?
No, we'll have it wrapped up by. We're going to start to exchange scout teams probably Friday of this week. We'll get a peek. We'll use Friday, Saturday, and next Tuesday as the 3 bonus days for Florida State. And then Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, again, another 3 days for Florida State, which would be your normal Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday in a typical week. So as long as we've got our decision made by, the end of the weekend here, and then we make some kind of announcement, whether it's, Monday or Tuesday of next week, we feel like we'll be in a pretty good position.
Yeah, hey, Coach. I know it's only been a couple days since we last talked to you, but I know you mentioned there's about 7 or 8 guys on the offensive line that are competing for those starting spots. Just how much do you think it benefits having just a few extra guys that you could throw in there as potential starters or as heavy rotational pieces early in the season? And do you feel like you guys are narrowing in, I guess, on a potential starting lineup there?
We're still moving some pieces around. I can tell you that the good part is Garrett Dellinger has really settled in at the center position. I think, it was at last week where, I was pretty vocal about the snaps. He's really settled in nicely since that day and has taken ownership at that position and has been extremely consistent. So we feel really good there at the center position. We've been working Bradford at some guard position, but as you know earlier, he's played a lot of tackle, so that's given Cam Wire some opportunity there. I think what we're looking for is some key backup situations. I think we've got a pretty good sense of the 5, 6 guys, and now it's about getting that seventh, maybe 8th guy. But I think we feel pretty comfortable with knowing that we've got 7, 8 guys, and that's going to be our rotation.
You're somebody I know who likes process and organizational structure and things like that. I guess just where do you think this team is right now for the season? How close is it to where you normally like a team to be?
Today was our best day in terms of playing with speed, practicing with a purpose, understanding. You got the sense today that they were getting ready to play a game. It was clean. It was efficient. you had defensive linemen running all the way across the field, pursuing the football. It just didn't feel like a check-the-box camp day, where sometimes you kind of get in the doldrums of camp. You could sense today, and they did it in the manner that I like to see practice being run. We are who we are. I mean, there's nobody else coming through the doors. This is the team we have. And I like their development. So I would say that we're on schedule for the preparation part, and we're moving towards, really focusing on our opponent, Florida State, here in the next couple of days. And I expect us to be in a really good position physically. It's gone really well, knock on wood, where we haven't had any major injuries. We've been very, I think, intentional about them being fresh. So all signs point to being on the right path towards, preparation being where it needs to be for Florida State.
Coach, you've worked with Mike Denbrock before. I'm wondering, how have you seen his offensive philosophy change now that you've reunited after his time at Cincinnati?
I just think that, he's always been a really smart, intuitive play caller. That's why I've asked him to be my play caller here at the top of the top. And, this is LSU, right? We're here to win a national championship. So I get a chance to pick the best play callers in the country. I think he's the best play caller, and I think I've been together with him for a long time. I just think he's intuitive, he's smart, he knows football. He knows the offense that I like to run and what I like to do, so that's obviously really key because our conversations are on point. I don't have to explain a lot to him. He can go, I know what you're looking for there. Let's go ahead and do that. So I don't know that there's been, this, epiphany of he's, changed as much as he likes to do what I like to do. We want to control the line of scrimmage. We want physicalness within the offensive structure. We want to utilize a tight end and 3 wide receivers, and we want to push the ball down the field. We want big chunk plays, and I think that's kind of stayed consistent with his philosophy.
Right here. What have you seen from Mason Smith so far?
Obviously the physical tools are there, right? And, he brings that physical presence at the defensive line position. He wants to get better. Every day there's definitely a desire to want to be the best. He sits in the front row, he's taking notes, he's engaged. This isn't a guy that's sleepy-eyed, sitting in the back of the room, hey, I've arrived. So, that to me stands out. And he knows he's got a lot to work on. He wants to be a better pass rusher. He plays with a lot of emotion. And I don't think he's even reached his ceiling. He's working on getting better every day.
Just kicker, that's been an open spot. Any closer to finding who you all might like to go with it there?
I think right now Ramos is probably in the lead at that position with Bramlett. Those are our two that I would say right now are a little bit out in front. Haven't made a decision on kickoff right now. That's still a competitive situation. But I wouldn't say that's I'd say Bramlett has probably won the punting job, but I'd say we're still in a competitive situation, but Ramos is probably a little bit ahead right now in the kicking situation.
Hey, Coach. Billy Embody with On3. You mentioned staying fresh for the opener. How did you guys manage tackling throughout the entirety of fall camp and trying to, go all the way, but also keep guys safe at the same time?
Yeah, so, a lot of that is regulated now through, the new rules. So I think what's really been helpful is the spider pads, which allows you to get into good fit positions and play fast, but not take guys down. And then when you get your opportunity to tackle, you just have to take advantage of those particular days. It's much like, when you have those long layoffs for bowl games, you have to tackle. This is a lot different because you have 28, 29 practice, opportunities, and you can space them out. So it's not like, the bowl game where you got to go, you got to throw them in quickly and get those tackling opportunities in. This is much, much better. It's spaced out, and you can be, I think, a lot more safe with the tackling opportunities across the board. Great, thank you.